that I'd be better if I did without cannabis. I just had another dream about it, and I can barely remember it. I told myself to talk about this. I'm attached to cannabis, not because I'm dependent on it. There was a time when I used to be pretty dependent, because I was suicidal, so it just made sense. But I'm not suicidal anymore, despite the things that I might say when I'm pissed. My reasons for using it are completely different, and I don't really think it's medicinal anymore. Perhaps it's only recreational, and I think that doing something recreationally when it's unnecessary is a sin. So that's why I probably shouldn't give in. But that don't mean that I won't. But I see it as my friend. It's always been my friend. It kept me from killing myself. I think it's most definitely my friend, but I'd probably be way more motivated if I didn't use it. So that's the issue. I love that plant so much. But it's not the same anymore, you know? I still have yet to do this joke. You know how people will say, like, you didn't change, I changed. Well, I really can't say that about weed, because it's definitely changed. You know? It's definitely changed. And Israel controls the cannabis industry, by the way. All the shit that we know about cannabis in relation to the endocannabinoid system is because of Israel. So it's like, I mean, I'm schizo. I'm still high even when I'm not high. So it's not like I'm really giving it up, you know. I still got it in my head. It affects us differently. It's like, I don't want to compare it to like LSD or anything, but it is like a trip in a way. Like, when you have the disorder that I have, schizotypal personality, it's like you're just in your head all the time about everything. The reason I talk to myself so much is because, like, I'm always watching everything I do and reacting to it. That's why I don't need a TV. That's why I don't need social media. To get, pissed off about stuff that's happening or not happening. You know, it's like there's just so much that's already going on that I don't need anything additional to think about, you know? And I have to be very, very careful about what I watch and what I listen to. But yeah, I don't know, I just...
just been thinking a lot about quitting completely. Because I quit smoking it over a year ago. But I still cook with it. And I hate how when people quit things, and I'm not saying that I'm this way at all, but I hate when people quit things and they just gotta be all holier than thou about it. And I mean, you can count on me and not do that shit. But it's like, I've done without it. It's not an issue of like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, the shit I always do. Just, I'll be way more motivated to do it. And I'll have these really vivid dreams. That's another thing. Like, I know that I'm definitely special because most people that use cannabis won't be able to dream. But I can still dream. Especially if I'm not high, like when I go to bed. If I'm not high when I go to bed, I will still have like a really, really vivid dream. So, it definitely doesn't affect me the same way. But I don't know. People always say, well, just do it in moderation. Shut the fuck up. You don't know who the hell I am, dude. For me, moderation is like, do a lot at once and then give it up. Do a lot at once and then give it up. Do a lot at once and then give it up. Okay? Like, that's how I handle myself. And I wouldn't have it any other way, you know? I could never understand people that would just drink a few beers. Like, they'd have, like, a glass of wine. Like, what? Like, why wouldn't you drink the whole bottle? I mean, that's what it's there for, you know? Dude, I don't want to be here right now because it's probably going to be pretty slow all day since it's a holiday. There aren't going to be as many people out. They're going to be grilling with their families and celebrating a country that never fucking existed in the first place. But, yeah, I just have a feeling that my manager's like going to want me to clean all day. And that means that I should be high, you know? Well, here's the thing. If I used weed and I actually did all the stuff that I said I was going to do, that'd be one thing. But that's not what's happening. And I know that. So I think I'm just making excuses. It's not because I think that cannabis is a sin. It's because it's like, it's just gotten to a point where I'm like, is this really something that I need to keep doing? And, I mean, I'm not going to go to hell because of that. So that's not a concern. That's a concern for a lot of people. A lot of people will tell you, yeah, it's a sin, and it opens up doors to the devil, and it's like, yeah, a lot of stuff does that. I mean, if you think about it, like, everything about our culture does that. But yeah, I understand why that is a fear that certain people have. Because, you know, I've seen people that, you know, freak the hell out after they smoke cannabis. Or if they take an edible, they take too much of an edible. And they just go into psychosis. It's just, I know that psychosis isn't real. Like, I've been through that, so I know that whatever I'm thinking is not reality. But I have a protective shield against that. Whereas regular ass schizophrenics are hallucinating all the time. I mean, I think what they're seeing is real. But it's only real to them. Ain't nobody gonna believe them. So that's the thing, that drugs do that. Drugs open up your mind to the existence of angels and demons. And because we live in a secular society where clinicians, diagnose everything, and people that abuse cannabis have cannabis use disorder, all right? Most of the people that are of my personality type, well, I don't want to say that because I don't know every schizotypal that has ever existed, but we are the most likely to abuse cannabis. And I can definitely attest to that. But I mean, I don't think that I'm abusing it the way that I used to. I mean, that doesn't happen as much because, like, I know how dangerous edibles are. So, that's why I do that shit myself. But we are very lucky to be aware of the things that we're aware of because we care, Like, I don't want to end up in a mental institution because of all the cannabis that I've used. You know what I mean? Because they said that that's an issue. I mean, I believe it, for sure. Especially since people don't understand what's going on. I just don't want to think I'm above anything, Want to be safe about it, Better safe than sorry, as the saying goes. Speaking of cannabis, I smell a lot of it. That's my bitch pulling up next to me, though. Yep. That's about right. I'm waiting for her to get out of the car. But yeah, I still love cannabis. I still appreciate it. I think the culture is retarded. And it actually makes me ashamed to be a cannabis user because of how uncreative the culture is. Like, if you're making music, if you're like painting and shit like that, then you're using cannabis the right way. If you're, theraping yourself, talking to yourself as a therapist would, and figuring things out, going back into your childhood and, trying to get over certain things that are holding you back, then I would say that's the appropriate use of the plant. But I mean, I don't see most people doing that. I mean, I don't have to use cannabis to do that. I'm always doing that. But cannabis definitely helped me for a long time. It helped me to not hate myself. It helped me to figure out that what I had was a gift. So there's a lot of things that I figured out. I mean, I got off my psych meds because of it. Mainly because, and birth control as well. Cannabis is actually an effective birth control. So. Yeah. Are you recording? You know I'm recording, baby. This is my friend Lexi.
Good morning, kittens. Y'all met me before. Hi.
so beautiful. She's so fucking beautiful. she's probably my favorite person here. Meow. I thought it was Isaac, but Isaac started fucking a bitch, and now he's acting like a girl. That's what happens when you get pussy. You start behaving like a pussy.